Should the NBA consider changing its playoff format in the interest of both competitive balance and maximizing their earning potential? I had the opportunity to pose that most intriguing question to Tony Williams, a New York Knicks beat writer for the Metro New Yorker. And here is his most interesting take on the subject.
So, Tony, the commissioner seems to be on a mission to ensure that he provides the most premium of playoff matchups by allowing the top 16 seeds to participate in the playoffs regardless of conference. So could you tell me what your initial impressions are of that proposal by the commissioner?
Well, I think something that came to mind immediately is that, one, it kind of seemed like a knee-jerk reaction at first because the NBA, like all other leagues, is cyclical. So, right now the East is average and the West is dominant. So, it all comes around in circles. But at the same time, I kind of like it because for 30-plus years, David Stern was stuck in his ways. And I like to see a new face, and new thoughts and totally new ideas from Silver. So I'm kind of down with that. I kind of like the fact that you get the best 16 teams regardless. I don't think it hurts as far as being, in the Eastern Conference. I don't think it hurts teams because then I think we're going to see the best 16 teams possible in a tournament, and that's how it really should be, I think.
And just, do you think the Eastern owners would have a problem with this because the East is so much weaker than the Western Conference?
Oh, absolutely. The owners, I'm sure, are against it because, face it, if you're in the East and you're the owner of, say, the Bucks or the Pistons, or even the Nets, and you see a team that's already in the hunt in the East, then all of a sudden, it's a whole new idea. Now the Bucks are out, the Nets are out, and I think it's turning upside down. So if you're an owner of a bad team in the East, or even an average team in the East, it hurts your revenue. So I'm sure there'll be some fight against that.
And in terms of competitive interest, do you think this new proposal will increase the popularity of the league if you have the best teams battling it out for the title?
Well, I think it'll help all the good teams in the good cities. The NBA is more regional, so, I don't think people, that are living in LA are going to care about the Bucks getting in or not. But to me, I think the year this year so far has been outstanding. I think it's compelling. We have new faces and new places. I think it's a very great NBA season. And I think it can only enhance things, though, because if you have the best of the playoffs, there is a bad matchup in the first round. Every match in the first round is golden.
And in terms of one of the complaints or one of the issues with this new proposal is the issue of travel, having teams travel across the country for first-round matchups from East to West Coast. So do you think the issue of travel in terms of making sure that teams aren't fatigued will play a factor in the competitive balance of these games if teams are traveling across the country?
I don't find that because I think traditionally with the NBA playoff, they've already dragged on long enough. The first round can last up to 10, 11 days. So as far as travel issues, I don't buy that. The only reason why they changed out the travel package with the playoffs when the NBA Finals went to 2-3-2 was for media obligations. But I think for the players, they'll adjust. Like I said, the first round alone will last almost 2 weeks. So it should be an issue as far as travel for players.
And in terms of the importance of home court advantage, with this new format proposal, do you think home court advantage takes on a larger role?
If we're judging by last year, when the first round, I think I I think the road team went 24 and 26 overall in the first round. So it was the first round last year was so compelling with all the overtime games. I don't think home court has as big a meaning anymore these days. I think the parity on the league. I think that it's helped either playing field. So I mean, other than a team like say Oklahoma City, which is right there at home, San Antonio's of the league, the home court advantage has not really helped teams in past years.
And in terms of the scheduling, each team in each conference plays each other 4 times. Under this proposal, you would have marquee matchups more often, like LeBron and Kevin Durant. And can you just talk about the impact that would have from a ratings perspective and from an interest perspective from a fan that may not be an avid NBA follower?
Well, that's a great point because you think about it. Right now, we only get Steph Curry against LeBron James twice a year. We only get James Harden against LeBron twice a year. Would it be fantastic to see these guys play, 3 or 4 times in a year? I think it would do so much, do a game such a good solid and such good justice to have LeBron play out west as many times as they possibly can. I mean, it only has them face the Spurs once to San Antonio or face Oklahoma City once to Oklahoma City once a year. I think it does a disservice. I would like to see that more. I think that would be an excellent thing to see happen more. To have a cross promotion where you get to see Steph Curry playing in New York in the Garden more often than he does already. I think it's a solid idea.
And in terms of, you mentioned before, regional matchups. Under this new proposal, regional matchups take on a lesser of importance. Say the Knicks, if they ever get back in the playoffs or playoff contention, that'll probably take a couple of years, but if they ever get back into playoff contention and say the Sixers, for example, would you think people would miss those traditional Eastern Conference rivalries? And how much do you think the traditional rivalries play a part on the national scale versus in the local markets?
Yeah, I think that's probably one main downfall, is that when I was a kid, I used to love watching the NBA on Saturday afternoon on CBS, and almost every week there was Boston versus Philly, or New York versus Philly, or Boston versus New York. It was a great thing to watch. And I think at some point that change must happen to help the league. Although I would miss seeing Boston, New York, I would think I'd rather see Steph Curry and LeBron more than seeing, the Southern Grand right now in the current things.
And finally, do you think this proposal has sea legs? Do you think it will pass eventually? And what about the argument about bigger markets having an advantage over the smaller markets under this format?
Yeah, the NBA is not driven by markets as much as it is just star power. I mean, LeBron's in Cleveland, Durant Westbrook are in Oklahoma City, and Duncan and Parker and Julie are in San Antonio. Aldridge and Lillard are in Portland. So, I mean, I don't think that it hurts the market here. I think that this is a star-driven league. Big markets would be good to have Boston, LA, and New York and Philly good again. But at the same time, this league is just like stars. So I think ultimately, wherever the stars are, teams will thrive. And I'm looking at Milwaukee. There's not one major star on that team, and they're doing pretty well out there. I mean, I think it just helps have players on your roster. I don't think the market side anymore. I don't think it's all the current factor anymore as well as in the past.
And finally, do you think this will be an implemented policy for the playoffs moving forward anytime soon?
As much as it's fun to talk about the agenda, I really don't see it have any legs, really. Ultimately, as you said before, these teams that are small markets in the East will have teams that are average at best. Brooklyn, they don't have small teams like Milwaukee, Indiana, and they don't get in the playoffs. They have an okay season, but they get in the playoffs. I mean, that's like a ownership, and I don't see that having legs going forward.
Well, Tony, I thank you for your time this afternoon and for joining us on the Two-Man Advantage Podcast.
Anytime, man. I'll hit you guys anytime. I appreciate it.